I'm Vegas Runner here with Dustin from Pregame Forums to break down the 140-pound unification bout with Amir Khan, Zab Judah, Saturday night, Mandalay Bay. Who do you like?
Right now, as it stands, you have to go with Amir Khan. He's younger. He's got pretty much all the advantages. He's got the height, which to me is the major factor in boxing. If you're taller than your opponent, you're going to have the edge all the time if you know how to fight tall.
Yeah, he fights tall. He's only going to be around 2 inches taller but I think he fights tall is what it is, where Zab also fights short. So I do give him that height advantage. Right now, the odds makers make it as if Judah has no shot at all. The odds right now are minus 500 on Amir Khan, and I have not seen them move one bit. The over-under in rounds is anywhere from 7.5 to 9.5. But again, minus 500 on Amir Khan. Win probability conversion, about 83%. So they're pretty much saying this is an easy fight for Amir Khan.
Yeah, you know, and the line has only went up because it opened, I believe, at 3-1. Has only went and now up to 5 when you told me when you came in. This is not an easy fight at all. That's what really blows my mind. Zab Judah's not. I mean, he's been fighting elite. He's only lost to elite fighters, other than Baltimore. But you know, we'll let that go.
Excuse him there. He's a big favorite.
But you know, he's fought far better competition than Amir. Who's Amir fought really? Maidana and Malignaggi, and they're both B-level fighters in my opinion. And he nearly got knocked out by Maidana at the end. You know?
Yeah, he was saved by the style of Joe Cortez. Didn't let him fight from the inside. If that would have went 2 more rounds and Cortez let him fight on the inside, Maidana had him hurt.
Oh, right.
And I think that's what Amir Khan, that's why people gravitate to his fights and why he's so good for pay-per-view. Not just because he wins, but because there's not that air of invincibility.
Right.
Because of his jaw, the glass jaw, people think, he can go down at any time. And I think that brings, intrigue to the fight. If anyone could drop him, it's Zab Judah.
Oh, yeah.
He brings power, and believe it or not, this is the heaviest champion that Khan's faced. Judah's fought 147.
Right.
Even though his last 2 fights at welterweight, he was only weighed 145. He's back at his normal weight. Bottom line is this. Judah may had lost to guys like Mayweather, the elite fighters, but that was out of his weight class. At 140, he's only lost 1 time, and that was the Costa Zoo in a fight that he looked great until he got dropped in the 2nd round, And I think Khan's going to have to do the same thing. Use that right hand. Use that right hand. That's how Zoo beat him. That's usually the weakness. What I don't like is this. I think the odds reflect one thing and one thing only. Khan's connections to Freddie Roach and Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
His resume to me doesn't reflect the minus 500 favorite over a 5-time world champion like Zab Judah. We just saw earlier this week Antonio Tarver against Green.
Yeah.
Green was a minus 400 favorite against a previous world champ.
Yeah.
It wasn't merited, and he ended up losing that fight. I think this is a lot tougher fight than people think it is. I don't think the odds reflect what the true probability is. In my opinion, I think this is going to be the toughest test for Amir Khan because of the fact he's a southpaw.
Right.
Not only is Judah a southpaw, he has as quick of hand speed as Khan's ever faced.
Absolutely.
And the footwork and just the way he fights in the ring, Khan has not faced that kind of opponent. More importantly, Judah has more or less reinvented his career. I mean, I wish he was working longer with Pernell Whitaker, but if you saw in his last fight, he became a defensive fighter who used his jab. If he does that against Amir Khan, I think he could make this a very interesting fight. Myself, I think the value's on Zab Judah.
For sure.
I'm not willing to step up and make this a premium play. I know guys bet a lot of money when I give out a premium play, whether it's sports, other sports or the fights. Because of that, I'm not ready to pull the trigger yet. I will pass it along via Twitter the day of the fight if I do step up to the window and do so. With that said, my worry is this. Can Judah win a decision, or can he only win via knockout?
No, Judah can win a decision, but it's going to be very difficult if he is to go that far. You know, I gave out my prediction on the forums earlier. I think Khan wins the decision on this. I don't think Khan knocks him out. Judah can win this in decision, but he's going to have to be the busier fighter, which he not much anymore these days. He's more of a one-shot, you know, one punch at a time fighter. But he'd have to outwork Khan, which I just don't see happening because of, you know, Khan already has a high work rate already. He's young. He's only 24, you know, and I don't see, I can't see Judah doing something that he's not. He's not a busy
especially
fighter
after doing
now.
it for 15 years one way. It's hard to change within a matter of 6 months. I agree with you totally. The thing is, this is the biggest fight in his career, even though obviously the Mayweather fight was huge and back then. But I think this is the biggest fight of his career because I think it's career ending if he doesn't win.
In that regard, yes.
If he wins this fight, I think he gets a fight deal with HBO. Or main events. I hear it's on the table. That's the rumor right now, that there is a multi-fight deal on the table pending he wins this fight. More importantly, if he wins this fight, then he gets a shot against Timothy Bradley. Khan was supposed to fight Bradley. That's the bottom line.
Right.
When I sat with Zab Judah, this was before this fight was signed. What Zab said was this: my goal is to unify the 140-pound belt and be the first undisputed champion at 140 and 147. Let's not forget, he was the undisputed 147-pound champ. Now he wants to do so at 140. His goal was Khan signs with Bradley, he fights on the undercard, then he gets the winner of Bradley Khan.
Right.
Bradley's contract with his promoters doesn't end till July. He doesn't think the split's fair, and he wasn't willing to sign the contract with Khan. I don't think it was the split because Khan gave him more than fair split. He was going to give him half of British pay-per-views.
Right, which is
I
huge.
think Bradley's fear is this: his name doesn't get the recognition of a Zab Judah, of a Khan, of a Mayweather, of a Pacquiao. If he were to lose a fight to Khan, that puts him 5 steps back. He's out of the big fight picture if Bradley loses. So I don't think he wanted to take that test of fighting Amir Khan. He wanted to hold on to that belt. I think that's the reason. Now, Khan gave that next biggest guy in that division was Judah, the biggest name, and he has the IBF title. Gives him the shot. I think that both Freddie Roach and Amir Khan are looking past Judah. They're already talking about unifying, becoming undisputed at 140. If Bradley doesn't fight him this time, they're going up to 147. They're acting as if we already beat Judah. I think that's not the case. I really think his southpaw style is going to create a lot of problems for Khan. And I think he's prone to get hit by that uppercut because he stands tall. And if Judah could land and Pernell Whitaker keeps him patient, I think he's a live dog at plus 400.
Well, the thing is with this is you've heard a lot of Khan talking about how he trains with Pacquiao and did this and that. You know, we talked about this earlier. I don't put much stock in that at all.
You can't compare two southpaws. It's like you can't compare two orthodox right-handed fighters.
Right.
How are you going to compare two southpaws just because they're left-handed?
No,
they're totally different fighters.
Well, and that too is that you're not getting a fight night Pacquiao. You're getting a sparring partner in Pacquiao.
And in the last 5 years, he's lucky if he fought 10 rounds, sparred 10 rounds with Pacquiao.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we did a podcast earlier today with Bernard Hopkins, one of Bernard Hopkins' trainers, who was at the Wild Card Gym for the last 10 days of Amir Khan's training. And I asked him specifically, was Pacquiao even there?
No, he wouldn't be there.
And he wasn't at the gym. He wasn't training with Amir Khan. Amir Khan was his sparring partner, not the other way around.
Exactly.
And for a title holder, for a guy who wants to be labeled as the next pound-for-pound great, for a guy who says, I'm going after Floyd Mayweather, when you're sitting there at your press conference and you're touting the fact that you spar with Pacquiao, you know, you shouldn't be a glorified sparring partner,
right?
You know, and I think that's his claim to fame, and I think that's what the odds reflect. The odds reflect his connection to Pacquiao and his connection to Freddie Roach. It's not indicative of his resume or the way his fights have gone. Like I said, he got hurt by Maidana, and I think with Zab Judah, if he fights the way Pernell Whitaker puts out the game plan, I think he's going to create some problems. I think we're in for an exciting fight. Like I said, Khan should win this fight. He's the bigger fighter. supposedly the faster fighter, the younger fighter, the hungrier fighter. He's got every plus you could name. But again, value is value, and in my opinion, he's not worth laying 5-1 on. He's done nothing to justify being a minus 500 favorite.
No.
And even though he should win this fight, I don't think as a bettor that I could ever advocate laying 500 on him.
No, I won't even bet that. No, I mean, it's not, the odds are, like I said, inflated. It's not even worth the chalk, you know. I mean, what if he loses, you know, then you're out $500, you know, for
I just think
if
Zab uses that left, if he could land that right, that jab, stick that right, and open up that left hand, I think he could create problems. That's what Breidis Prescott did against Amir Khan. And if you remember, after Prescott knocked him down the first time and Khan got back up,
right,
he finished him with a left hand again.
Right.
So if anything, he's susceptible to that left hand. Like, that is his weakness. That's how Breidis Prescott dropped him 2 times.
Twice, yeah.
And that's the big weapon for Zab Judah. I think it's going to come by uppercut or by left hook. But he will test that jaw at least once. And I really think he could hurt Khan. Like I said, am I willing to pull the trigger and make it a premium play and bet big money on it?
Yeah.
No, he's not supposed to win this fight. But the only way I could bet this fight is by taking the plus 400 with Zab Judah. I know you disagree. You think Amir isn't going to lose this fight, shouldn't lose this fight, can't lose this fight.
Well, I don't know about can't, because, you know, it is boxing, anything happens. But, you know, with the things that gives me pause in this is that Amir, if they're already talking about going to 147, then that makes me think that Amir may be having difficult times getting to 140 now. So if Purnell is smart with Judah's game plan, they're going to have him mixing up, going high and low. Head, body, body, head. You know, if you can do that, if Judah can do that, he'll get Khan, because Khan tends to lean.
Yeah, he's a big guy. I don't think even 140 is his correct weight.
No, 47 is where he
belongs.
belongs.
Zab said when I had interviewed him, he made the mistake of going to 147 because that's where the money was.
Oh, sure.
He's not a 147-pound
a
fighter.
pounder.
He's a 140-pound fighter, and he's only lost 1 time there. I think Khan's natural weight should be at that 147.
I agree.
I think he has a tough time cutting weight, and I think if it goes late, everyone talks about Judah's stamina being the issue. That was at 147 where he's more slower, lethargic, putting on that weight. I think it's Khan who, if it goes late, you know, may be susceptible to tiring. And,
well, he gassed in Maidana's fight.
Exactly,
you know?
Exactly, and we've seen it time and again. Bottom line, like I said, Khan's supposed to win this fight. You know, the odds makers tell you he's supposed to win this fight. I give Zab a lot better chance than they do. That's the bottom line. As a bettor, I look for value, and I think at getting a 5-time world champion who's only 33 years old and who has rejuvenated his career, who is now with a trainer who, if anything, is a left-hander like him. Right. And that's the thing. When you have a trainer who fights your style, he could teach you so much better. He knows what is coming from, you know, what a left-handed fighter is going to do. It's tough for a right-hander to train a southpaw.
It's
because you got to think of everything. Yeah, that's the only problem too. I mean, it is what it is. I hope they give us a great fight.
It will be. I think it will be. I think both guys hit the canvas, but in the end, I think it's going to be entertaining. It'll be better than the Hay Klitschko.
Finally, before we go, do you think the boxing politics will be an issue? We saw it with Lara and Paul Williams, a fight Williams lost, but obviously the money was for Williams to get the W. There's a lot more, you know, ahead for Williams' win than it would be for a Lara win. Lara would need to beat 2 or 3 more fighters of the caliber of Williams to get a big pay-per-view fight. Where with Williams, there was a rubber match with Martinez on the line.
He gets knocked out against Martinez again.
Of course. But do you think if it goes to a decision, can the judges be fair to Zab Judah?
Well, you're in Vegas, so
will they give, you know, Golden Boy, Khan, easy, he gets the decision?
Well, I don't know if there's a British judge on the panel yet, so I haven't announced. Well, I haven't went that far to look into the judging, but they got Tony Weeks as a ref.
Yeah, that's what I haven't confirmed it, but I hear Tony Weeks is the ref.
Yeah.
I was worried if it was Skip Bayless or Cortez. They don't allow inside fighting. They want to get in the middle of fighters too much. I think Tony Weeks being the ref, I think that's an asset for Judah because he does allow inside fighting. Amir Khan doesn't fight from the inside. Freddie Roach style, come in, land them punches, jump back out.
Right.
Jab, jab, jump in, punches with bunches, jump back out. Judah wants to catch him coming in.
Right.
Exactly, and hold him there and fight from the inside. Hopefully, you know, for my sake, because I think I will probably toss something on him.
Might as well.
At plus 400, I think there's the value, bro. I think there's the value.
No, I think it can be a fair decision. Well, you know, we're not, I mean, you're in Vegas. You're not going to have amateur judging here. You know, this is fight town. You know, so I don't see another Williams-Lara fiasco going on again. So because you had amateur judging, you know, here you're not going to get amateur judges in Vegas. So no, I don't think it'll be a problem then. Looking forward to a great fight. Follow me on Twitter at Vegas Runner. I'll be passing along information from Mandalay Bay throughout the day of the fight and at the fight, along with pictures throughout. And if I do confirm a premium play, I will Twitter that out for free as well. That's Twitter at Vegas Runner. I'm VR. That's Dustin. That's your breakdown of Judah Khan.